Nowadays, people's attention spans are screwed. And you can see it at school even. People, like you're talking to people and they're just staring off into the distance or like looking off somewhere. Like you're talking to them, they're like, yeah, yeah. They're just not listening to you. Or like they hear you, but they don't listen. They're not in their own body, they're in their own head, essentially. They're having like a thought, a memory, some like future event, like being excited for something, but they're not in the moment. They're not looking at you. They're not paying attention to you. And like it doesn't feel good. I have to be honest. It doesn't feel good whenever people just don't pay attention to you. And as a side note, if you can provide that attention to other people, people will like you more. Just being more present with other people, you'll be more liked. Absolutely. Because people don't like being around people who don't pay attention to them. But to improve your attention span, I have 3 steps outlined, fully prepared. The first one is to just get rid of apps like Instagram and TikTok. Like, you don't need Instagram and TikTok. I can guarantee you that you don't need them. I have never had Instagram and TikTok, and I have never been worse off without them. My life has only been better because I've never installed TikTok or Instagram. Because whenever you watch like TikTok or Instagram, you're filling your thought with you're filling your head with random thoughts. So like you scroll like TikTok, like every second or 2 seconds is another random thought, and you're doing that to yourself. Like ADHD is whenever like you just keep zipping back and forth everywhere, like back and forth through thoughts, and you're doing that to yourself. You're doing that by scrolling. Every time something gets boring, next one, and you just get stuck like that. And I'm not perfect either. Like a year ago, I think, not a year ago, maybe like 6 months. It wasn't that long. I like before a party at a friend's house. Like I had an hour before I had to go. Like I was all done with the day pretty much, and I was just waiting. So I decided to just watch a YouTube short or two, and I just kept scrolling. I watched YouTube shorts for an hour before I even realized what was happening. An hour, and mind you, I don't watch YouTube shorts or TikTok or anything like that regularly. Like yeah, I have YouTube, but I've never used YouTube shorts until then. Maybe like one or two YouTube shorts, but then I've never gotten stuck in that loop. And yeah, it was so easy for me to just doom scroll up and up and up and up and up. It was so easy to get caught in it. So imagine how easy it is if you do that regularly to yourself. Like your brain's just fried because you just keep scrolling and scrolling. If you just delete TikTok, you just delete Instagram, you just stop watching YouTube shorts, like your brain will immediately feel better because you're not overstimulating it with 1,000 thoughts. And number two is meditation. So meditation is focusing on your breath for however long the meditation session lasts for. And it's the opposite of TikTok essentially, meditation, because when you're meditating, you're mindful, you're you're practicing mindfulness, you're practicing attention on that one thought of your breath. And every time you go away from your breath, you go back to it. You keep redirecting your attention back onto your thought of your breath and focusing on it. And the opposite of mindfulness is mindlessness. Whenever you're scrolling, you see 1,000 thoughts, you're mindless. You like sit around for an hour or two being on TikTok, you're mindless. You're just you probably don't even remember what the last TikTok you watched, let alone the last 1,000. You don't remember it. And just those two, that's all you need really. Like you just delete TikTok, you just delete Instagram, you start meditating. It's that easy. You just start focusing on your breath and stop randomly getting thoughts every second, and you're done. Like you're good. But number three is more optional, but writing is really good because writing you're also focusing on one thought, but instead of staying on the one thought, like meditation, you're expanding on one thought. So instead of staying on one thought and redirecting your attention back to it, with writing, you're staying on one thought and you're making it bigger and bigger. You're expanding more, you're writing more. And that helps, especially asking yourself a deep question like, why do I want to do blank? Or why do I believe this? Asking those kind of questions to yourself, well, first of all, unlocks more of yourself, about your true self, about why you do things. But second of all, it improves your attention span. You focus on one thing and make it bigger and bigger, and that just, like, you're just showing your brain that you need to focus on one thing and make it bigger for longer, and that just truly helps. But honestly, if you just delete TikTok, you're already ahead. Like, just getting rid of TikTok, you're already good. But the other three, like deleting everything else, meditating, and writing, will definitely help you out.